We're here with David Lopez, who is the CEO of AGS and a Yankees fan. And I want you to know that I'm hoping that the Phillies and the Yankees get to meet in the World Series this year.
You know who else is a Yankee fan? The CFO of Light and Wonder, which
Be-
means we're automatically friends, just like that. Doesn't matter if it's a competitor. CFO of Light and Wonder.
Better a Yankees fan than a Mets fan, that's for sure.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Uh, David, you've had a few years at AGS now, but
Maybe
you're
11, I think, right?
11. Wow, that
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
But your owners are relatively new. So tell us a little bit about what it's like being back in the world of private ownership.
Uh, Private equity, obviously, we're very familiar with it. I think we even talked about it a little bit last year. Um, your sprints are a little different for quarterly, half year and yearly statistics, obviously, for financial purposes. Investments are maybe viewed a little bit more long term versus short term when you're a publicly traded company. I think shareholders can be pretty fickle on, somewhere between 10 and 15 KPIs that if you don't hit them all exactly how a shareholder would like them to be hit, it can mean something for your stock price. So, again, familiar with the territory, understand how to grow the company under private equity ownership. We're excited. Brightstar Capital Partners, new to us, obviously, but not terribly new because it takes a year to close a transaction. So there's a bunch of good guys over there that we like to work with. And so we're excited to, sort of play out the next 3 to 5 years.
You're a relatively small company, and that's always an issue when dealing against giants like Aristocrat and IGT. But one thing Bright Star gives you is financial support, I should think.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, their goal is to infuse capital into the company to help us grow. Um, yeah, the big boys are the big boys, right? I mean, you look at Aristocrat, Light and Wonder, IGT now getting bigger than they were before. Obviously, all very, very tricky to compete with, but we've been doing it for years. As something we pointed out recently is that I think when we all got started here, whatever you want to call it, a decade ago when we all got started, I think AGS would have been ranked somewhere between 17 and 20th or something down in the low teens as far as size competitor in the space. And right now, I think we're for North America, I believe we're number four. We're number four gaming supplier as far as size, EBITDA, machines in the field, etc. So still small. The big three are the big three, but we've been competing with them for a while, and I think that our plans for our product lines and our diversity and sort of expanding globally are going to help us.
Great. Tell us a little bit about those plans.
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit more of the same, but under private equity ownership, we'll probably attack some new markets that we haven't, played in before. We've already started in Asia. We're likely to tap in to Australia. Europe is already started, but we haven't, it's not to the point where we're selling machines there yet. And then there's all the other markets right now that we don't compete in. We don't compete in VLT, VGT market in Illinois. We do a little bit in Canada as far as like the VLT market goes, but we'll expand there. We're not in Georgia COAM. We're not in pull tabs right now. So there's a lot of opportunities with investment for us to get out there and pick up share and again just compete with the big boys a little bit more.
One of the things that we've seen, the transitions we've seen over the past couple of years, is that one-time brick and mortar companies for which online was this small growing section are fast becoming online slash brick and mortar companies. What is your online presence and your online future?
So our online presence is pretty good. I mean, if you look at this Eilers-Fantini report that we get, um,
I
if
know
you
them.
check that out on the real money gaming, statistics, I believe that at the moment our index is either number one or it's number two in the space for real money gaming. So as far as game performance goes, um, you know, we're doing fantastic. Um, I want to say that we've moved from the sixth largest to the fifth largest competitor or manufacturer in the space. We've done all this with really one studio. You know, I don't know if most people know that, but our investment has been one single studio, and a studio that doesn't knock out new games. It's really a porting studio, and we do some new bespoke games, but it's a very small percentage of what we do. So ultimately, we're already expanding that to two studios. We believe a third studio will make a lot of sense. So we don't want to stop at being the fifth largest supplier. We think this is going to be a huge part of what we do going forward. Largely right now, the success comes from our land-based games and our ability to launch some pretty cool and impressive omni-channel events, which we've had some great partners in the space work with us there.
One of the buzzword of the year in every industry today is artificial intelligence. How are you guys involved with AI and what do you expect to achieve with it?
I mean, yeah, I think AI is going to be big. I don't know about the timing on it. I wish AI would make my memory better, right? But ultimately, AI is probably going to probably present itself in just about every area of our business. I'm a big believer that it's gonna sort of jump into even the accounting world in the early days and just make us more efficient with everything that we do. Obviously in R&D, I know all the companies are working on it, right? It's unlikely that there's a single company that isn't working with or on AI projects at the moment for their game development and their engineering side. You'd be foolish not to be doing it. The question is, how deep do you go and how far do you go with it right now? Versus really taking your time and doing it right. I think it's going to be a huge part of it. I don't think that, the fears of like, hey, job cuts and reductions in force and the such, I don't believe that's going to be the case in particular for R&D. I believe that, for us at least, it's just going to supplement what we do, make us faster, fewer mistakes, and put out more games. And our plan, of course, like everyone's, this is no secret, put out better games, more quality games that earn more on a more frequent basis. So essentially raising your batting average.
This year we're heading into G2E and you are going to rock the bolt.
Oh, we are, huh?
That's what I
Yes,
understand.
we have a new logo. Too bad Julia's not here to, wax poetically about the new logo. But obviously, we thought that with new ownership and just needing a refresh overall on the logo, I think that when we switched our logo some time ago, we really went from 2014. 2014 we changed our logo. It's time, right? Here we are, 2025. Not saying we need to all change our logos every 10 or 11 years, but we probably needed something a little fresh and that represents a new start for us. As Julia would like, she's like, gets the hands going, a charge into the business and a charge forward and all that fun stuff. But it was high time for a change. I don't really like the new logo process because it scares me and I don't want it to look stupid. And again, as always, marketing team came through beautifully and executed on a great new branding for the company. So super excited about it. Will be unveiled at the show. Sort of going to be the booth theme for the year will be, the logo itself.
And what are some of the must-see products at the booth this year?
Um, you know, interactive is a little different, but for people in the interactive space, I think that they're going to come in and have good meetings. And it's really about how we do business with our customers. It's not about any particular product. I referenced the fact that our index is either at number one or number two now in the real money gaming space. Again, fifth largest supplier for that. So interactive is really about how we do business with our customers and what we're going to do with them, whether it be omni-channel events or something like that. As far as our table game business goes, if I had to pick one, I'd say it's probably poker, our BSX poker product. BSX poker has been installed at a number of locations. Fantastic earnings for the poker room. Poker room's always looking for a way to make a little bit more money. Obviously, it's a bit of a grind in the poker room, and putting side bets and progressives on those games has been very successful. With all the installs we've had zero removals. So that's on the table game side. On the slot side, there's almost too many to mention. We got 86 slots this year on the floor, 30 more than we had before. We actually have a much bigger space. We took over the space of Every, because they obviously are integrated with IGT at this point. So we took that bigger booth. We're going to rock the bolt there and, have a lot more space for our slots. As far as slots go, I think, listen, if you look at the Revel cabinet, it continues to do very well out there. That's our mech reel. I think if there's one cabinet to mention, it would be our 75, our 75, SL75, I should say, is doing fantastic. That's another one that is, with as many hundreds of installs that we've had, there's been zero removals. That product absolutely crushes it for us. As far as like games go, I think I just went through the showroom just now to speak to product management, and Repeat Win Fusion is my favorite game. It actually, only because it has a repeat win feature, a little bit like an old school game from Aristocrat called Big Red. It's kangaroo on the game. So shout out to that old game that you really can't play anywhere in the US anymore. So Repeat Win Fusion, Mariachi Fortunes Trio. We got Ultra Werewolf, and then I think Slick Daddy is another one that's been exciting numbers early on. So most of those are in the field, or actually all of those are in the field at the moment, except Ultra Werewolf. And so we're excited about them. I mean, look at all the games; all of them are must see. But if I'm just speaking for myself, those are the four that I probably am excited about.
Well, it sounds like you'll have a lot to see.
Yeah, there'll be a lot to see, much more than before. A little bit more room to move around in the booth. It won't be like a traffic jam, and Reed will not be upset with us for using the aisle as much as we normally do.
Okay, that's a pretty good overview, David. Anything we haven't touched on, or anything you'd like to add about AGS?
No, I think you covered it all. I think we're excited about, again, being under private equity ownership. How we can grow moving into the future. The thing that is great about new guys coming in, and these guys in particular, Andrew, Bruce, Roger, the whole team, Simi, that we work with. Um, y- you know, like our previous private equity owners, and of course, when you go public, they have no desire to meddle with our culture. And I think that the most important thing for us to be successful going forward, it's not just the investment. It's not investing in products. It's not investing in development teams or infrastructure, whether it be product management or sales or anything of the like. The way for us to compete with the top three that you referred to is really to have a superior culture. And I just said, oh, our culture is better than theirs. Well, it better be better than theirs, right? If our culture is not better than the big three, we stand no chance. And that's got to be our aim all the time. Whether it's true at every moment or not, Frank, that's sort of in the eyes of the beholder and in the eyes of the employees, right? But the beauty of like the new ownership and previous ownership and being public is that we continue to charge forward with trying to have really first rate or even the best culture in the space, because that is the biggest thing that allows us to compete with the likes of Aristocrat, Light and Wonder, and IGT. So I'd say that's probably the final point that we didn't touch on.
Okay, well, sounds again like a really good overview, and look forward to our future conversations, David.
All right. We'll see you soon, Frank.